Okay, so today we have a very harsh but necessary video. We must make it. I'm going to be predicting who I think will be cut and let go from the UFC in 2025. All right, honestly, I wanted to name this who I think deserves to be cut from the UFC in 2025, but that's a bit harsh. This sounds a lot better on paper. Some of these fighters definitely already deserve to be cut, but they're holding on by a thread. One more loss should do it for a lot of them. And it's not just about loss streaks, okay? It's also just about how they fight and the signs they show that they're not getting any better and they don't entertain the fans. Like it or not, this is an entertainment business, okay? It's barely a sport with all the bullshit that goes on. I'm definitely going to sound like a spoiled child in this video, a kid who wanted more for Christmas, But it's just the truth. If you're not high level or entertaining, you're just wasting money, okay? Get cut, send the money to the next fighter, give the contract to the next fighter, because there's a lot of low-level fighters in the UFC that it really makes me question why they're here. Starting first with Herbert Burns, okay? This guy is clearly only in the UFC because his relations to Gilbert. I'm sorry, Gilbert. Your little bro's got to go, all right? He's got to go, okay? He's in a 4-fight losing streak where he's got finished every single time. He pulls guard in most of his fights. He cannot damage anyone for the life of him. His last fight, he got leg kick TKO'd and just laid on the ground and couldn't get back up and gave up. There's no disrespect in giving up. You're hurt, but he just does not, he's not top level, okay? He just shouldn't be in the UFC. He gives up in most of his fights. He curls up into a ball, and yeah, he's just not fun to watch. If he does have success, it's with boring control grappling, similar to Gilbert's style of grappling. He just controls them, doesn't do much damage, struggles to get any submissions. It's just very confusing why people like this are still in the UFC. Like, I think guard pulling should instantly get you cut. That is just shit. That shit should be a war crime, okay? It is to us. We acknowledge it. But the UFC doesn't. I'm convinced he's only in here because of Gilbert and his relations to him. So yeah, I could see Gilbert getting cut, or not Gilbert, Herbert. Fuck. I could see him getting cut very soon in 2025. He may take some time off and just delay the inevitable, but no. Okay, fight in late 2025, lose and get cut, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I feel bad talking like this about fighters because they deserve respect somewhat, but not these kind of fighters. Okay, they don't earn the respect. Okay, moving on to another guard puller. All right, I promise they're not all guard pullers and jiu-jitsu guys, but hey, these guys stand out as terribly unfun to watch and they just look like bitches. Why are you pulling guard in MMA? It's just not okay. All right, Kron Gracie, the obvious one, probably the thumbnail of this video. I don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah, get him out of here. All right, I could see him trying to delay the inevitable, similar to Herbert, because he's taken long layoffs in his career before, and he just got finished pretty brutally. So I could see that happening. Maybe not getting finished in 2025 or cut in 2025, but he should be. All right, get him the fuck out of here. We don't want to see you fight pulling guard, going into missionary against your opponents. It's gay, it's unfun, it's weird. Get out of here. He's on like a 2 or 3 loss streak. I don't even know. Probably not, because he's so inactive. He's just unfun to watch. He doesn't have a single fan other than Nate Diaz in the corner screaming triangle. He's throwing shapes at his bitch ass. But yeah, get him out of here. I know y'all agree with me. This is the very popular one. We want to see him cut. And I don't really know why he's still here. I guess because of his last name. I guess the last name Gracie holds a lot of value still, which is weird because none of them are really anything in martial arts anymore, but I guess they were important for the beginning of the sport. I get it, but dude, get him out of here. I'm sick of last names giving these guys privilege, okay? It's bullshit. I've never been more satisfied and screamed louder at my TV than when Bryce put this bitch out cold. Thank you, Bryce. Thank you. Okay? Just, why is he pulling guard, wrapping his legs around him like he fucking wants to fuck him? Stop, okay? Get out. All right, moving on to Tai Tuivasa. The fun's over. All right, the fun is over, boys. He's going to be cut in 2025. I think he's going to fight pretty soon, actually. Probably on, 312 or 313, the Dreykus Australia card. I don't even remember. But he'll probably fight there and probably get finished again and be cut for the second time in 2025. He's been cut before. He made his way back. Respect, but I love Tuivasa. He's a wholesome dude. Works a pizza delivery job while fighting. Dana, how dare you not pay these guys enough? It's bullshit. But, dude, obesity. He's let obesity and food plague his career for his whole career. And yeah, it's over. The fun's over. He's been finished 4 times out of his last 5 on a 5-fight losing streak. He probably should have already been cut, but the heavyweight division is so dead, and he's a somewhat of a big star. So I get why he's still here, but no. All right, he's not going to be here anymore. He's gonna lose for the 6th time in a row. Probably get finished brutally, and yeah, he'll hang him up probably. Maybe go to Bellator. I don't know. We'll see. Like, this one it hurts. Honestly, this one hurts to say. You know, he's a fun fighter to watch. He swings and bangs on the feet, swang and bang, but his grappling sucks. He's obese, and he just loses from getting grapple fucked, unfortunately. Not even that. In his last performance, he got outstruck for 3 rounds by Rosenstrike, the GOAT. So it's not even grappling is his problem anymore. He just is too slow, too fat, not committed to the sport. And yeah, he just shouldn't be at the top level of MMA. It's just true. Moving on to a fighter who's gone 0-2 in the UFC so far. I think he got finished in one of them and lost by decision. Dylan Budka, okay? I don't really like saying guys should be cut as early as a 2-loss streak, but dude, this dude is terrible. He's so low level. He does not deserve to be in the UFC. He's advertised as a wrestler who's got out-wrestled by everybody he's fought so far. He's terrible. His grappling sucks. His strikes are somewhat powerful looking, but he can never land the ones that matter. He just has no signs of getting better. I think he missed weight in his last bout as well. Get him out of here, all right? Stop paying these bums to stick around for no reason. We have lots of better levels of competition. I think this is the 185 division. Dude, get him out of here. We don't need him here. I'm sorry this sounds harsh, but Dylan Budka, he's a bum. I don't want to see him fight anymore. Get him out of here. His nickname is the Mindless Hawk. Dude, the Mindless Hulk? That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, his IQ is not the best, clearly, because that shit just makes no sense. All right? Like, he doesn't even knock people out. Like, why is your name the Hulk? Get out of here. I don't want to... Like, I feel bad saying this stuff, but at the same time, this is the top level of MMA. He should not be in the UFC. I don't know how he got to the UFC. I remember watching his YouTube fights for a prediction video. Dude, he's so bad. He beat a bunch of bums, had a padded record. Get him out. Moving on to a legend of the game, and I'm only saying this because I just know he's going to want to come back and fight again. Tony Ferguson. Like, this dude, he hasn't been cut yet from the roster. You know, the roster tracker on Twitter. He has not been removed from the pool yet. He's still here. He still wants to come back and fight. He's made that very clear. And Dana, if you let him come back and fight again, you're a terrible person. You're a terrible CEO. Fuck you. You know, it's already kind of fuck you, Dana, because you're acting weird. Like, I used to like Dana a couple years ago, but now he's promoting OnlyFans girls to save Power Slap, which it will not work. Power Slap is a dead sport. Stop trying to gaslight us and yourself. You're just coping, okay? Give up on it. Stop putting money into that shitter. Put it in the UFC and pay these guys more. But yeah, Tony Ferguson, he needs to be forced to retire. I know he might just go to Bellator or PFL or something like that. But is Bellator even a thing anymore? Did they merge? I don't know. I don't keep up with that shit. I really only watch the UFC and some of boxing. But yeah, Tony, please just retire. I'm sure you've made enough money. You could get some sort of desk job. I'm sure Dana will hook you up with something. Some sort of $50K a year job. I don't know. Just stop, okay? You're going to die. You're going to have CTE. You already do. It's going to get worse. I don't want to see him finished again. He's been I think he's on an 8-fight losing streak. He's been finished in most of them. Dude, just stop, please. Tony, please, man, just stop. Okay, I know I've been just saying all these guys deserve to get cut so far, but this one is one where I don't actually think he deserves it yet. But I'm predicting that Brendan Marotte will be cut from the UFC in 2025. He's on a 2-fight skid, both by finish. It's not looking good. You know, it's not looking good. He didn't show that much promise in his 2 previous fights. And I feel bad, you know. I feel bad when people get cut. You know, it's how, like, you go on a loss streak early on in your career and you get cut and you never make it back. It sucks, but that's the reality of the sport. You either win and show you're the best and deserve to be here, or you don't and you get cut, all right? I'm predicting he will get finished again just because he hasn't really shown much promise, you know? He hasn't really had much success in any of his fights. He's been early, finished early on in both of his fights so far. And yeah, I think his record and his levels of competition that got him to the UFC was not that good either. I did check. It's not that good. It's kind of a padded record. So yeah, sorry, Brendan. You'll be cut in 2025. That is my prediction. Okay, moving on to another fighter that I'm predicting to be cut from the UFC in 2025. Tuco Tokus, okay? He actually showed some promise in his last fight against the the prospect Sterling making his debut very recently. I think it was the last card of the year, the Colby Buckley card. But still, I just think he's going to come in, get fed a pretty good level of competition guy, because they never really like to give guys with no wins in the UFC easy fights to save them. They always like to test them. And I believe Tuco Tokus is kind of terrible. He looked a little better in his last fight. It was somewhat competitive, but Sterling was very plotty, very just trying to do too much. He should have just stuck to the basics and knocked him out like that. But he was trying to show off with the weird kicks and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think Tuco Tokus is done. He might just get cut anyway. He might not even fight again. He might already be in the process of getting cut. The paperwork might have not just been filed yet. So we'll see. Maybe he fights again. Maybe he doesn't. But I just don't think he's that good. I don't think it's looking good. 3-0 in the UFC so far. Yeah, I predict we're not going to see him much longer in the UFC. I think he'll get cut in 2025. Okay, predicting the final fighter who I believe will be cut from the UFC in 2025. Good old Parker Porter. I don't know, yeah, he's a heavyweight who cannot knock people out. Heavyweight's pretty unskilled, but they're known for their knockouts and heavy hands, and this dude has one KO win, all the other ones being decisions. And his one win was over a Brendan something guy who was making his debut in the UFC. So not that impressive. Very low level of competition in his wins. His wins are all terrible. I think half of them have never won in the UFC. And their decisions, dude, he's not going to make it much longer. I think he'll fight one more time and probably lose a close decision or just get knocked out in 2025. He's coming off of a win in 2023. He might have already been cut, low-key. I don't even know, but I don't know. He's coming off of a KO loss to Junior Tafa or the other Tafa. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I just checked. He's actually been finished by both of the Tafa bros. So, yeah, he's racking up them losses. He's been finished every single time he has lost. So, it's just not looking good. Lots of damage, lots of bad wins, lots of bad losses. Not the best or not the worst losses in the world. These are at least somewhat athletic heavyweights. The Tafa Bros are decent. At least they have good credentials and backgrounds from kickboxing and stuff. But no, okay. This guy's getting cut in 2025. This is a lock, okay? Bet on this. Since you can bet on fucking everything these days, you probably can bet on this stuff. But yeah, we're not going to see much of Parker Porter. Unfortunate. Dude has a sick name, but it's not going to be enough. But yeah, that's the video. I just wanted to make some predictions on who I think is going to be cut. These may seem very obvious, but again, I just kind of wanted to make a video saying who I think deserves to be cut. But that title sounds harsh. This sounds better. So yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.